to settle in, to feel yourself relax into the chair, to quiet your mind and find that place within you that knows who you are, that knows the beauty of you, the truth of you, the love of you. For we are all united in this love. We are all together. We are one. We are one beautiful opening rose into the world with our fragrances, our different fragrances. And together we make the world a more loving place, which is the most beautiful gift that we can give. So just moving into that space in your own heart with eyes softly closed, if it feels comfortable, and just know that this, together, we are the love. And feeling this morning that we have all come together. Yes, we have all come together to celebrate life, to celebrate love, to celebrate the oneness of humanity as we work together to make our world and the world a better place. Amen.
Open my heart to love. I 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 open my heart. I open my heart to love. I open my heart. I open my heart to love.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling? I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me. bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Alone dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, move me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Life is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, our wonderful, wonderful music ministry. Life is calling me deeper than it's ever called before. Anybody recognize that in their life, just possibly? Anybody want to run from it? Like, are we really large enough for what's happening here? Where are we? Who are we? This is Palm Sunday, and for some people who come in here, it's a little scary because I've had people say, do we have to talk about Jesus? And my response is, can we find a larger picture of this being and the understanding of what these wisdom teachers came to share and to do? And Unity looks at science. We look at spiritual ideas. We look at how do these stories of the day, how do they teach us and open us? Because they are always true for the time. Now, I'm not talking about a fundamental view. I don't believe that's the story that Jesus shared. Just like Buddha and Lao Tzu and some of the other wisdom teachers on this planet, Jesus shared a story that included people, that talked about loving, even when you don't understand what's around you, loving your neighbor as yourself, including women, including the untouchable, including so many different ideas, and recognizing that that kingdom was within you. And so many of you didn't grow up with that story, and I just invite you into a story that might serve you and teach us, because I believe right now we're all getting to say, ooh, what's higher here? What's a bigger story? What is it that the world and the universe and this movement is working to do? There's an evolutionary impulse that is calling us further than we have gone before. And just remember, I think it's 3 decades of doing Palm Sunday services. Many times I get to it and I say, what is it today? And one of the things I learned in ministerial school was that my job was to, and I just want you to remember it, some of you know it by now, to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. And so just know, it's not much fun, but that's really, we got to look at these stories and we have to say, what's happening? Because it's very interesting, this Palm Sunday, and please recognize, I grew up in Unity. I didn't know there was another teaching other than looking at what were the underlying evolutionary ideas and how do we live them in our lives. Palm Sunday and Easter did not happen at this time of the year necessarily. That was done because Oestre, the Easter, this whole spring renewal that calls us forth, calls us into something higher. Passover starts April 1st. We just got done with Ramadan. There are these holidays and these ideas that happen at this time of the year, working to share with people that there's something desiring to be born, just like you see the beautiful cherry trees and the things that are happening. And so this sacred story, though, if you were born in Christianity, there's something that it has to teach you on the soul journey. We use a lot of Carl Jung's ideas of the archetypes that teach us and continue to do that. And Unity, the last 125 years of this movement, one of the things that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were doing in Kansas City, Missouri, was they were saying, what else can this teach us? They had heard, they were in the conservative of the conservative areas. And their lives were at risk for looking at different ideas that were larger. But they said, what if the whole story was there to teach us something? And so we get to ask, what can it teach me today? One of the things that we know is that archetype, first of all, Jerusalem in Hebrew means habitation of peace. We are all going to Jerusalem. What an interesting journey to get there. What a very, very interesting journey to get there. But that's the sacred soul journey we're on. Not to some place, and of course most of us said, in my lifetime, could we please find a world of peace? And that hasn't necessarily happened. But what if every generation, every soul is asked again and again and again to find a deeper way and a place and a way of having meaning? And everything in our lives is the material that teaches us. And we might say, well, you don't know what happened to me. And some of the stories I hear and live with and hold, I just don't know how we've conspired to come to this place. But it's always a teaching place, and it's always a learning place. And it's someplace where we can say there's something more. And the archetype, Lent is that time I grew up, the story that I grew up with was that this whole Easter story is a crossing out of that which no longer serves us. It is letting go of old mindsets. Everything is consciousness. It's letting go, crossing out. The crucifixion is a crossing out of these ways of seeing that are not true and sustainable and real. And right now, at that time, it had to do with power. This triumphant entry into Jerusalem, into the habitation of peace, on the back of a young donkey, it was countering how the kings came in. Very similar to what we were looking at yesterday. It was a triumphant entry. And people were following a being who had radical ideas. He said we can all be included. Women have a voice. These people have a voice. The untouchables, the Upanishads, all of the people have a voice. Palm fronds, they were putting those down. People were waving palm fronds when Jesus came into Jerusalem, and they were laying them on the road as the practice was done for royalty. And that in itself was very blasphemous. And so, but what we look at in unity is, have we allowed ourselves to accept the divine in us? Now, what many of us were raised with is you're a sinner. And that's an old take on an idea that has bound humanity. Because then we have to say who else is and who else is, and well, they're not included and they're not included. And yet the idea of finding the divine is within every being is part of our work. And the day of Palm Sunday, Jesus knew if he took that journey, he knew where it would end. And he chose to take that journey. Right now, every one of us have a journey in front of us. And it's a journey of finding something larger in our being and in our essence than we have allowed ourselves to experience in the past because of our histories and what we grew up with and all the culture. And the culture is saying no more. There has to be something more here. There's something more. But we're a part of that journey. I want to just share for a moment my day yesterday. I went to 3 protests. And I went to the latter half of the Thorns game and saw them win. It was so wonderful. They did not score until after the first half, so I got to see the scores, and then I left. But I want to share with you. First of all, I started out in Westmoreland, and there after that we went up on a bridge, and so it was a honk and wave. And I have about 240 to 250 cars went by, just so you know. When I don't know what to do, I just get quiet and I started blessing and counting. I don't know why, but that was what I did. 22 of them showed me interesting fingers, very interesting fingers. I didn't know what else to do, so I just counted. And I just thought, okay, that's a blessing. I can just hold it. I can recognize people don't have to like me. They don't have to believe in what I say. I just have to find the deepest truth that I can find. I then got on the Max and went downtown. I could not believe the number of people. It was fascinating. I got to pet the llama. I got to be with the people that I don't even know what all the costumes meant or what they were, but it was fascinating. And I started crying as soon as I got there because I thought we are here to walk each other home, to find a larger answer, to find a way to have peace on this planet without all of the other pieces. I just started crying. And then I would walk a while, and then I'd just sit and watch. An hour and a half, and people were still walking. I mean, it was just amazing to experience. And then I made my way, 20-some blocks up to the Thorns game. Yes, we won. It was wonderful. I got to be with my daughter, Leah. You have to tell I'm a little biased here, and Taco and a few others. And then we walked back to the Max, and when I was waiting for the Max, there were people that had left the march also. They had finished it and left it. And I was standing next to a man, and we were talking because his dog had these darling signs on about Good Dogs March and all these different things. And we said something, and I said, well, this is how I see it. And I thought I better qualify that because who knows what he thinks. And so I said, I'm a unity minister. And he just stopped, and he just looked at me. And he said, you're a what? And that usually means, oh boy, I'm going to hear something. And I just said, I'm a unity minister. I'm at 45th and Stark, and we believe this way. And he just said, and he started crying. And I just stood there, and he said, it always makes me cry. He said, I'm gay. And in Utah, in the 80s, during the AIDS crisis, he said some of the only people, he said the Reformed Jews, the Adventists, and the Unity people would look at us, and the Unity people would look at us and believe in us and know we were okay. They were the only people that would come and touch us and be near us. And I just stood there, and I just said, what? And he said, we were young kids. We were scared. We were grieving. And someone took the time to tell us we were whole and we were enough. That's where we're moving. We're moving to a society that doesn't say, you're not enough and you're not enough. And the journey to get there isn't easy. But we have to take the step to say, I'm a part of the journey. Because we can watch from the sidelines, or we can be a part of the journey. And Palm Sunday is a commitment move. And I believe the universe commits to us to all that we commit. And by the way, I went down to Milwaukee. They had 4 times as many people as they ever had their protest. And it was simply a celebration, a hugging, a laughter, a joy. And I just realized this is life. This is the journey. But what's fascinating is that commitment move is made by every one of us. because we have to let go of old ideas and old ways of seeing the world and thinking they're separate and they're separate and they're separate in our own minds. We have to practice that idea of this journey of Easter, which has to do with overcoming. Palm Sunday, will I step onto the path? Will I actually take the journey? Because we get to heal our own stuff. I used to think, if we just heal them, we'll be okay. But the healing journey means we heal ourselves, and then we join together, and we do it as we're doing that. But Palm Sunday is, will I step onto the path? Will I have the courage to meet what's in front of me? And we might say, well, it's not anything big. It's this illness, or it's a family member who's making their transition, or it's something over here. That's our journey. That's our awakening. It comes through where we are. Good Friday, in the wilderness, we're going to actually have these chairs in a circle. And the question is, when we commit to taking the path, we have to forgive the old stuff that happened in our journey. Everything that's been in our journey has come to support us to evolve through. We don't have to agree with it. We certainly do not have to like it. But I do believe part of our job right now is to understand it. Have we really looked at our history and found more of what happened, and then be able to hold it and say, how can this move me forward? How can I understand more? Because if not, what happened right after Palm Sunday, and it's not usually talked about in Palm Sunday messages, is the people were celebrating and so joyous, and they loved Jesus and the message that he shared. But as soon as power came back in, they ran. And they ran away because they were used to a power structure. They lived within a power structure that told them who they were, and it was comfortable. And our undoing that requires discomfort. It requires letting go, opening up, and finding something more within. And then, because that way, on Good Friday, we look at what it takes to roll away the stone in our lives and to actually get out of the tombs, the sacred tombs of allowing that which is no longer needed to run our lives. Anybody there? We get into these things, and all of a sudden, we're just in this little mass. Those are the old ideas that the evolutionary impulses are saying, let them free, let them free, let them free. And that's where we have to do the work. We have to be the ones to do the work. The way that things change is by ourselves going into our lives, loving ourselves enough and saying, you are whole right here, honey. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. One of the people I've been looking at is Susie Ellen, and thank you for having the courage to get up here. The service that's happening is her beautiful husband, Jeff, that will happen after the service. And it's the courage to stand and walk the journey, whether we're crying and don't know what's happening, or we're here to share our gift of meditation. It's taking the journey where we are. When somebody gets mad at us, isn't it just so much fun to just say, no, you can't, and tell them they're wrong? That's old ways of being. Somewhere in there, we get to find the presence of who we are and recognize there's a larger story coming through us. And humanity has to look at it. And the United States, with a history of what it was, and I'm talking about slavery, I'm talking about anti-LGBTQ, I'm talking about all of the pieces that have been a part of our history, have the ability, if we will allow them to be, acknowledge the difficulty and the places that they have taken us because they are systems of power, and recognize undoing systems of power means that we open our mind to a larger knowing. We hold that space within ourselves even when it's difficult and we don't know what to do with it, and then we join together and say, I know the truth about you. And I know the truth about you. And you're wearing a frog costume. You're wearing this. Why are you dressed like that? Why are you this way? Why are you that way? It's because we're individualized expressions of the divine here to create a world of peace, of love, and presence. So Palm Sunday, that's who we are. That is the truth of who we are. And so, are we willing? Are we truly willing to walk that journey? You know, in the moment, and this is the Scene Gospel of Peace, one of the pieces of the Nag Hammadi Library. It said, or the Dead Sea Scrolls, in the moment between the breathing out and the breathing in is hidden all of the mysteries. There's a lot in the moment between the breathing out and the breathing in is hidden all of the mysteries. The answers we seek are present. When we let go of one old view, one way that we feel cornered or something's wrong or we hate, when we let that go and then listen to a bigger story, we're in between the breathing out and the breathing in. And creation happens. The mystery happens. But we think we just have to meet all the yucky stuff in our lives. But the truth is, we get to meet ourselves on the path and know that we're the sacred creations, walking with sacred creations. Thank you. Okay. And you heard about the HVAC. There's lots of interesting things going on right now. And you get to meet Annie Adams, one of our board members.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon now. I am Annie Adams, one of your Board of Trustees members, and a proud one at that. What an emotional service it has been today. Hearing from Erasmo, Denise's presentation on community, that really struck me because this community and Join or Die, is that the name of the documentary? Yes. Is so important to us. Tomorrow will be the 8-year angel date of our 15-year-old, our beloved 15-year-old who died from leukemia in 2018. And I wasn't going to mention that today, but with all that's being said, this community is important to Mark and I. I have one child in spirit, Zenzi. I have one child who lives in another country. They don't live here anymore. I loved being a mother. I love being a mother. I miss them. And so this community has been what has helped. And so I am here to share with you, as a board member, what has been happening in the not so lovely part of having a building. And one of it is vandalism that can happen. And on January 13th, our HVAC system was vandalized. We were not the only one. Many places in Portland had this happen. And, okay, you can do the next slide, Leah. Here's the look of the damage. They really came in and went at it. So there's no saving that. They were looking for copper, is that right? Yeah, they're looking for copper, and I think they got it. I hope after all that work, something came from it. So, okay, next slide, Leah. We had steps taken. We had the police report filed. Insurance company was contacted. Erasmo spoke of this. I guess he did a lot of it. Requested bids from 7 companies. We went with the bid. Look, quotes ranged from, sorry, go back, Leah, $14,000 to $73,000 to fix this. This is such big damage. It's heartbreaking. And all the bids included protective fencing, barriers for added security, so this cannot happen again. Well, hopefully. All right, and then we approved our insurance company approved 3 bids, and we chose Elite Climate Control's bid, and they were a referral from a congregation member. So we are going, and this bid includes replacing the 30-year-old air handler for an additional $7,000, which is going to be needed soon anyway, and it makes sense to do it now. And so we have to do it, or we will be doing what Barbara's doing right now in the summer and fanning ourselves with fans. And if we want to rent this building to earn more income, we need a AC unit. So, all right, so here we go. Basically, we are having to pay $25,390 to fix this vandalism. So I am here to share our kickoff of a fundraiser to help pay for this. So let me just say this real quick. Also, I wanted to share transparently that we've ended the first 2 months of the year in the red. And many of you know that I love red, but not on my spreadsheets. So I wore my red and black today to represent this. And we've been getting by year to year, barely, but we have been. So we're always celebrating that. And your board is now working on ways to strengthen our monthly giving so we can consistently end each month in the black, not just to sustain, but to grow. It's time to give our staff the raises they deserve, to bring the additional support so we're not asking so much of so few. And today we're beginning this fundraising campaign to help cover the cost of this unexpected expense. If 100 of us gave $254, knowing some can't, some will give less, some will give more, we could meet this need. So I have decided on the way here, by the way, my husband's not here to approve this, so he's home sick. But I've decided Mark and I will give $254 each in addition to our regular giving to kick this off. So there's 2 people. So, or, what's that?
98 to go.
Yeah, 98 to go. Nothing. Of course, also that's $42 a month for 6 months, if that's easier. So whatever amount feels right to you, every contribution truly matters. This is our spiritual home, and together we will meet this moment. All right? So thank you for listening and supporting this community.
Thank you, Annie. Yeah, you can leave that. All right, and we have the opportunity to receive our tithes and our love offerings, just simply knowing that the invitation to make an investment is part of this journey. There are cards in the seat backs if you would like to know how to give electronically. That's also up here on the board, but we are just going to say our blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen.
With a heart of grace overflowing us, decorate this place. As it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song, all as one, in the name of love.
Thank you. As Palm Sunday, part of that sacred journey, the kids will be coming in just a moment, but I want us to remember we're a part of every journey around us. And so I would just invite you to allow the love that is in your heart, the truth of who you are, allow that energy to encircle this walkway into which they walk so that their hearts are reminded by our hearts. We know who you are. You are light, you are love, you are presence. We're going to sing Our Youth In.
You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you.
My name is Luna. Down the stairs. Down the stairs, we learned about how Jesus was walking down on a donkey, and people were waving and clapping, and palms were laid down on the floor.
And isn't it wonderful that in our lives that represents that divine in every being? Yes, Sahel, you're home.
I am, yes. I have two things to share. One, downstairs, so today it's connection hour for the youth, and downstairs we're also selling cookies, which is 3 cookies for $1, so get your cookies, and they're the cookies from the cookie jar. So if you didn't get a cookie jar, you can have the cookies from the cookie jar. Yeah. And then the second thing is I went to a Next Generation Unity retreat last weekend, which was in Kansas City, Missouri at Unity Village, which is where Unity originated, if you're not familiar with that. And that group is for anybody who would like to come who from 18 to 40. So if you're 18 to 40 and you would like to connect with anybody around your age group in Unity from everywhere in the nation, it's an amazing retreat to go to. We go to workshops, listen to keynote speakers, we explore Unity Village. There's an amazing labyrinth to walk, and just amazing connections are made with people your age and not your age, and it's really amazing. And yes, yeah, it was great. From Northwest, there was about 6 people, so everybody from Washington and Oregon, but in the whole thing, there was about 40 people, and then last retreat, there was about 70 people, so we get a good number of people there. If you're ever interested in going, just come talk to me.
Thank you so much, Sahel. So they're inviting you downstairs after the service for a baked potato bar that helps them go to the camps. Every one of our youth camps is based on the idea that youth walk away knowing they are infinite, whole, and complete, and that their peers have supported them in that. So those are all coming up this summer. After the service, there's that connection hour downstairs with the potato bar, and then we'll be back up here at 1:30 for Jeff's service, and we invite you to be a part of that. And we are going to stand and sing and set an intention for this planet, for our hearts, for the ability to live in peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. That
Oh, yes, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. We're going to close with our unity prayer, and just know after that we'll sing our kids out. They will probably leave the palm fronds on the walkway, and so just be aware they're acknowledging the divinity in you, and it makes for a little different walking out, so do it gently. All right. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And they make it firm. Good Friday will be here 7 p.m. I think we're singing them out.
I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light.